Hi guys, so I have some exciting news. Can you not during my video? Thanks. Anyways, I have some exciting news. Tonight we have dinner reservations at Cinderella's royal table in Magic Kingdom. We're gonna eat inside the castle. That's right, I get to be a princess. I have wanted to eat at this restaurant for years. Like, I'm pretty sure I was like 15 the first time I found out about it, and I was like and so finally 15-year-old Sarah is gonna be happy on the inside. However, the main reason I wanted to eat at this restaurant is because they have this lovely chocolate mousse glass slipper. Like, this is right up my alley, and I have been dreaming about getting this glass slipper for years. Now, it's not on their menu. You have to like order it in advance. So of course I made my reservations. I went to message them. So I was like, hi, I would like to order the chocolate glass mousse slipper, please, so I can finally fulfill 15-year-old Sarah's fantasies. And then they told me they don't have it anymore. Yeah, they apparently stopped doing that. They do have another glass slipper dessert that they can do that's a little different, which I did order, so we will be doing that. But it's not the same. It's not what I wanted, so I don't get to completely fill my fantasy with the chocolate mousse slipper. That's the other killer. I specifically wanted a chocolate one, and the one that they have now isn't even chocolate. It's like white chocolate and raspberry, and I'm just like, ugh. So, but whatever, I'm doing it anyways. But if they bring back the chocolate mousse, you better believe I'm going back, because that's the only reason I wanted to go in the first place. So anyways, I gotta get ready. Our reservation's at 8:55, but yeah, I'm gonna get ready so we can go. I think they brought back character interactions for this one, and look, I know some people love seeing the characters. I myself like to get a picture with them, but I don't like more than a picture. I don't like when they try to talk to me because they're like in character, because I'm just sitting there like, I know you're not Cinderella. I just want the picture. I don't really want to talk. Like, it's just awkward to me. So I'm hoping that if the characters are there, like, they just stop by for a picture and that's it. Because I just don't know how to respond. Because when they're like, oh, my fairy godmother made this for me, what do you think? I'm just like, I know it was somebody in costume design that made your dress. Like, I get it for the kids, but like, I know it's not real. Like, so I just always feel really uncomfortable when they try to do that, and I always try to just get through it as fast as humanly possible. Hopefully, like, there's a bunch of kids in the restaurant and they pay more attention to them, because I just always feel really awkward. All right, I am all dressed, ready to go. I've got my pearls, my dress, and my magic band. Come on, focus, focus. That has the princesses on it. Let's go. That right there, that's where we're gonna be. So we had about 2 hours before our reservation, so we decided to kill time by roaming around the park. First up, we went on the carousel, because no matter how old I get, I always love this ride. Then I tried to pull the sword out of the stone, and like always, I failed. Then we took a quick ride on the People Mover, and lastly, we had just enough time to fit in the fireworks show. Then it was time for Cinderella's royal table. Now, we first entered this little room right here, and as you can see, I was very excited. This is where you wait before they call your party to head upstairs, and this is also where you get a picture with Cinderella. Right as I was taking a picture with her is when they called our name, so we walked up the staircase to the restaurant. Here we are.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, my mom and I did expect more. Like, this is Cinderella's castle, and it just didn't feel like as over the top as some other restaurants, such as Be Our Guest. But honestly, I was still just happy to be in the castle. I do wish we would have got a window seat, but we did get sit in the center instead. Also, I totally told them it was my birthday. Okay, look. I tried to get a reservation in February, and there were none. So I just had to pretend March is my birthday. I mean, 3 weeks is close enough, right? Anyways, the dinner is a 3-course meal. Before we got started with food, I ordered the castle flight because, you know, it's my quote-unquote birthday.
Sangria, Bellini, Prosecco, and peach. Mimosa.
For appetizers, I ordered the braised beef and my mom got the castle salad. Now, as we were eating our appetizers is when the first Princess Snow White came out. And honestly, at this point, I had forgotten that the characters were coming out. So when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, panic. But lucky for me, she went to the other side of the restaurant first, so I had time to collect myself. But then they had to bring out one of my favorites, my girl Aurora. I love Sleeping Beauty, and for whatever reason, when I go to Disney, like, I get completely ignored by her. Like, in parades, I try to wave at her. Nope. She's almost never there when I go to get a picture. Like, it's really hard to pin her down for some reason. So I was really excited when I saw her.
Sleeping Beauty is one of my favorites. She's right there.
So she actually ended up being the first princess I got a picture with, and luckily it went really easy. She did talk to us for like 30 seconds or so, but then she saw my phone and she's like, do you want a picture? And I was like, yes. So I got my picture. Then they had to bring out my other favorite.
Oh, the music started. Is this Ariel? I knew it. My 2 favorites.
She walked right by us at first, but she did come back later, and this is when they brought us our entrees. So I got the grilled tenderloin of beef, and my mom got the magic carpet ride.
I'm hungry.
Now, when we were eating this is when okay, guys, I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen Brave. I've tried to watch it, I just can't get through it. So her name's Merida something, whatever. She came over, talked to us for a little bit, kind of awkward, but I got my picture. And then that's when Snow White also came over to our table. Same thing, talked for a little bit, got our picture. And then finally, my girl Ariel came right back over. Honestly, she was my favorite interaction. She was a really good Ariel, and it felt the least awkward with her. But once again, 30 seconds or less, got my picture, and then they left. And I was like, oh, thank God, the character interactions are over. Now, when we first entered the restaurant, they handed us these wishing stars, and I didn't understand what it was for at first, but halfway through the meal, they announced that fairy godmother was coming through, and it was time to grab our wishing star because it was time to make a wish. So they did this little light show and said to make a wish. At this point, they brought out the dessert, and this is where they brought both the one that came with the meal and the one I special ordered. As you can see, they drizzle some caramel over it and then crack it open with a knife, and then boom! There it is. And then because I said it was my birthday, they lit a candle for me and sang happy birthday. But then it was time to dig into our desserts. And of course I would drop it. My mom and I started laughing so hard. Now, as much as I wanted to like this dessert because it is really pretty, I'm really just not a white chocolate or raspberry person. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't my type of dessert. My mom loved it though.
Well, here's the aftermath. We are full. Very full.
Now, as the dinner was coming to a close, the princesses all said goodbye. The park was about to close as well, so we took some final pictures and videos and then headed out. And I almost was really upset because as we walked in to the castle, I noticed they were giving out wands and swords. But when we came out, the chair that stuff was on was empty. Nobody was there, and I was like, oh, hell no. I know you did not just stop giving out the wands early. But thankfully, as we walked out the doors, they had them at the little podium, so I did get my wand. But anyways, yes, that is our visit to the castle. I'm glad to have finally crossed this restaurant off the bucket list. Do I think it was worth it? Honestly, I think it's cool to do it once, but I won't be going over and over again. It's super hard to get into, super expensive, and I get awkward around the characters, so The food was better than I expected, but you are definitely paying for being in the castle and getting to see the princesses. I didn't even look at the total of what I paid because I didn't want to know. I was just like, take my card. I don't want to know. So I think it all comes down to how much you love Disney for if this restaurant is worth it or not. Personally, I think Be Our Guest is a better dining experience, but if you love princesses and you love Disney and you've got the money to spare, it is cool to do it once and to be able to say you ate in the castle. That being said, I probably won't go back anytime soon unless somebody comes into town to visit and they really want to go there, or if they bring back my chocolate mousse slipper. Like Disney, I am still waiting. So chop chop. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you next time.